May 22nd, video diary of Ideaprov. Things are really, really good today. Got a lot accomplished. Looks like we still didn't create the calendar post. I think I'm silently procrastinating on that. Check the video for TikTok, and it looks like it's a little mini avatar, so because there's no audio with it, it doesn't really make sense to kind of put up there. But I did adjust the bio a little bit to kind of reflect that, kind of mashing ideas together. I'm definitely seeing that because of the target market for TikTok is still extremely young. I mean, we're talking anywhere from, probably 12 to 20, 25. Then I'm gonna have to approach that social platform a little bit differently than I have the other ones for sure. So I think that one I'm gonna come with a little bit edgier, more interactive, not as stiff kind of podcasty as I might say with like Facebook or the rest of them. But I think that'll be fun because that'll allow for a little bit of a different type of vibe on that one and kind of test out a different way of going about it. So excited for that. I think I'll just have to kind of get out of my own head and be okay with maybe aggravating, maybe pissing off some people just because we're mashing ideas together. Sometimes I might make fun of them. I don't know. So I'm going to have to play around with that to see how that works. I mean, I have 0 followers, so what's worse than that? Even though I'm not supposed to be looking at my followers, so I'm going to try hard not to, but it's going to be one of those things that's kind of difficult because it feels like everything's measured upon that. But considering the platform is so young and it's in infancy right now, like as far as the media and, I mean, not media, but the marketing and whatnot. So still things to come there. Tried to update my soundbite to Soundtrap. For some reason it wouldn't take. I had 29 seconds of 30. So I sent something over to support to see what they can kind of figure out on their end. Program is pretty robust. Recorded another podcast today with the work from home thing with Sunny, so that was fun to get started. I definitely liked the breaking it up in sections. It felt a little bit smoother than kind of the first one. And then also, speaking of that, I recorded an intro and an outro for both of those. So that'll be helpful, so that I don't have to keep saying the same things all over. I can just kind of import in those two bits of information at the front end and back end. And then the only one I'll have to worry about is the transition to the co-creators and stuff. And that, for the most part, I can do on the fly without too much of a struggle. Other thing I'm going to have to look into is a jingle, which I didn't think that this would come back to. I did not even think about the whole time. But when I saw the demo from Soundtrap, they had a jingle in the beginning, and now that I think about it, most all the podcasts that I do have some type of musical something in the beginning. I'm also going to test out running music in the background during the podcast. Of course, it can't be something that's super intense. It's going to be at extremely low volume. But I'm thinking that might add a little bit of flair that's a little bit different. I don't know if I want to do the same one or something different, so I think I'm going to play around with that and just see how that flows, to see if that even makes sense. Get some feedback there. So record the intro, outro, socials, Soundtrap, the jingle. I also reorganized my sticky wall, so all of that, instead of it being more in a straight line, actually let's just unflip it. More in a straight line here. I added these little breaks in here and here, so that way I can visually kind of let me know that's when we take a break. And then also redid all of the social outlets down there, so I still have to redo some of the blue ones down on the bottom, because I think that will be helpful to kind of better align when I start pushing the content, start pushing the stuff on the social media platforms, because then I can kind of keep things together in my head, especially since I might go with a little bit of a different marketing strategy or different flow for each one. Not for all of them. I'm thinking it's probably going to be a 3-1-2, something like that. So LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, I think will be majority of the same. Those are a little bit more established. And then, of course, I'm going to go with some video heavy stuff for both Instagram and YouTube. And then the TikTok will be just the kind of crazy, edgy, pushing the envelope type of test medium. I think I could probably get away with that there. Write down some breaks on in a probably pretty good space right now, kind of capitalizing. So I don't have another another podcast set up. So, but I do have 2 or 3 people, so I got to send out some invites, and hopefully they start responding back and get going, because I don't have another one set up, but I need to do that. But all in all, I think it's been a good couple of days, and we just gotta keep at it.